Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another review? There's another paid request, this time for... I should have asked him how to pronounce his name. Gia? Gia? Jea? Gia? I apologize if I fucked it up. But he wanted me to read a manga, volume 1 at least, of a manga called Slam Dunk. And also for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, reviews, re-reviews, commentaries, topics, reactions, rankings, lists, anything in between, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And I have not read a lot of manga. Thankfully, he gave me the link to read it. Thank you so much. And I did not know much about Slam Dunk. I mean, I know Slam Dunk, the basketball term, but apparently this is a very popular manga. Like one of the more popular mangas overseas. And apparently, from what I understand, basketball was not a big thing in Japan and other places. But this manga made a lot of people intrigued, fascinated, and want to know more and do more with basketball. So apparently this one manga improved a lot of interest in basketball over in Japan and other places. Interesting. The manga itself, again, the volume 1, the setup is you have this guy named Hanamichi who has been rejected so much, it's been up to like 50 girls he's been rejected by. And his friends keep fucking with him and teasing him. And, you know, a lot of these girls, they like basketball and all this stuff. He's like, I'm tired of this shit. Then one day, this one girl asks him if he likes basketball, and it's a girl named Haruko. Now, I do think maybe it's a bit of lost in translation, because reading the manga, there's certain lines that are a bit confusing. For example, one person goes, how are the first years this year? I'm like, the first years this year? What the hell does that mean? How are the first years this year? You mean, how is the first year students? Or as in, how are the new students? I'm guessing that's what it is, but just a very weird way of... I don't know, it's maybe something lost in translation. Like, there's another line that's like, I really like to watch, but I still like to watch. What does that mean? You really like to watch, but I still like to watch. What? So at times I'm reading it, I'm a bit confused as to what they mean. And also with the manga, sometimes I'm like, okay, here's a piece of dialogue. One's on the left, one's on the right. Mostly I think, okay, you read from left to right. But no, it seems like the line you should read first is the right one, and then the left one. And there's certain panels I'm kind of wondering, am I supposed to read the right one first? Like, am I supposed to read the one over here first, and then... Because, I mean, usually in a comic book, you read to left, right. But sometimes I'm like, am I supposed to read the right one first? And then the left one? And then, same with the dial. So sometimes I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if that's just how a lot of mangas are, or just how it is. I don't know. Maybe he could explain it to me. But the premise is that the lead guy, Hanamichi, is a guy who has his own gang of friends. He's a hothead that gets into fights, especially when they really piss him off. This girl, hey, are you into basketball? He likes the girl. Granted, part of the reason is so that she's not the 51st woman to dump him. Reject him, I should say. Not even dump him, reject him. But also because he really likes her. So he tries to dunk, he misses, he hits his head on the damn backboard, but she's still impressed by his jumping skill. But I will say Haruko, this lady, is a fucking bitch. She is a fucking bitch, and I would go, Hanamichi, don't bother with this bitch. She's a fucking bitch. She was fairly unlikable because she's very shallow. Very shallow character. Just like, okay, wait a minute. So if you're not good at basketball, she won't give a shit? And then she's trying to say all these nice things as if, I want to fuck your brain. Well, she doesn't say that, but, her eyes are more like the fuck me eyes. The anime fuck me eyes. And, but then, oh, but I'm dreaming about this other guy named Fukawa. He's a guy that even there were, three guys on him, 3-on-1, he still scored over 51 points. What is her fascination with basketball? Does she diddle herself with a basketball? Did she put the basketball in her panties and with the basketball? Does she sleep with the basketball between her legs? Does she take a basketball, make a hole, or does she take the basketball, put a dildo on it? What the fuck? That's what she seems like, and she seems shallow, like, oh, you're not good at basketball, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm like, well, fuck you. That's what she kind of comes off as. I'm like, don't worry about this bitch, Hanamichi. But, because what happens is, we see this Rukawa guy, who's like a cool guy. Some other people try to beat him up, and he beats them up. Granted, we don't get to see it, we see it off screen. But his head is bleeding. So then Hanamichi's going up to him. She sees the scene, sees the guy's head bleeding, assumes Hanamichi did it. Oh, I don't like you, I misjudged you, go fuck yourself. She doesn't say that. And then Hanamichi, the lead, is a bit of a weepy soy boy. He's a bit of a weepy soy boy. Because he's like, she hates me. There's no God in this world. So I guess it's not something I can relate to. Where, I mean, okay, I would be more pissed than crying. I'd be like, well, fuck you, bitch. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't do this. You'd fucking tell her, you asshole. But he cries quite a bit. Almost as much as To Be or Not to Be a crier. Then at one point he's in a locker and two hit him with a basketball and he goes in a rampage. I'm like, okay, that's more like it. But then the captain of the basketball team stops it. The lead guy pisses him off. Is okay, fine, why don't I have a little bit of a bet? So they get into the gym on the basketball court. There's a huge crowd. And the b-ball captain, who you come to find out is Haruko's big brother. Okay, if you're able to steal it, you one time before I make it to 10 points, you win. And then it shows that the lead does have his moments, which I did appreciate and like. And my neighbor's rooster appreciates it too. That was him giving a thumbs up if you heard that. Just okay, finally, like, he's able to steal the ball, and his nose is bleeding, and I'm like, alright, cool. And then the one girl, Haruko's like, go for it. I'm like, this girl's a bitch. She fucking turns on a dime. Go for it, go for it. But then she likes Rukawa. Then it's like, fucking lady, you don't know how to read the room, do ya? You're the type of girl that would go to see Purple Rain with an umbrella. You're the girl that would go into Taco Bell and think she was at the border just because she was in Taco Bell. But then, I will say it was fun enough of a read because I like the animation style. It's not a cartoon. But I like the style of the drawing. I like that at least telling somewhat of a story that maybe did relate to a lot of people. A guy wanting to impress his girl so much, but his untapped potential is able to come out. Like he's able to steal the ball, and his nose is bleeding. Or he does this crazy maneuver, is able to slam dunk, hence the title. And the people are cheering him on. In a way, it did make me feel good for the character. And that's, I'm sure, part of the reaction the manga was going for. And for it to be able to do that, I'm okay, is doing something right. There's some stuff that's a little bit lost in translation. It's not in color, it's in black and white, so if you're bothered by that, I'm not. I'm fine with it. And able to slam dunk. And he's people are like, yeah, all right. I can't believe he stole the ball. Not only that, he slam dunked on the basketball captain of the basketball team. And the lead guy keeps calling the captain a gorilla. Finds out that he's the brother of this girl. Then he still can't get on the team. He still won't. So I fucked it. I'll show him my persistence. So he cleans everything. He cleans the basketballs. He cleans the gym floor. All this stuff. Okay, fine, but you gotta learn the basics. So he's learning the basics. He's daydreaming. He's getting annoyed because he keeps on the sidelines. Which you do feel bad for. I will say that's one thing this did well. It did make me feel bad for the lead character. Yes, he does cry a bit too much, but you do feel bad for the character. You do root for the character, and you do get a bit of a cheer moment when he's able to do something successful, like steal the ball, slam dunk, even the basics. It's like, okay, and then he's doing this great dribbling, and people are impressed by it. But also, he keeps being pushed aside, feeling isolated, because his friends are fucking with him. Haruko, she's being a fucking bitch, and he doesn't realize it, because she's being a fucking shallow, flimsy, flip-floppy bitch. The captain of the b-ball team being an asshole, push him to the side. And at the end of the volume 1, he's like, fuck this, I quit. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him for quitting. Fuck it. But I'm sure, because there's other volumes that, he comes back and succeeds. At least in maybe some way. I will say it was different. In the fact that, I haven't read a lot of manga. I don't know about a lot of manga. I'm new to it. And then usually seeing like manga, you would peruse the titles. It'd be much more like superhero or much more, I mean, not superhero, but like sci-fi or something to do with robots or things of that nature. It's very different. And maybe that was another thing that made it popular, is that maybe it was something maybe a lot of kids and people in Japan and other places could relate to. I keep saying Japan, it's not just Japan, but it's other places to relate to. And again, it's interesting that if this was their introduction to basketball, it's pretty cool, because I do like basketball. It's funny, I did that little video on the Sir Charles Barkley, and someone's like, I didn't know you watched basketball. I did, I don't have the time. Well, there's not much of that nowadays, but even so, I just don't have the time to watch it. I just do not have the time to watch basketball. And my neighbor's rooster confirmed that. Yeah, I just don't have the time. But I do like basketball. I like the fast pace of the game. It's definitely not boring in the slightest. But again, I do like it. I grew up with Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley. You had Patrick Ewing. You had Magic Johnson. Even Shaquille O'Neal with the Orlando Magic. Then he went to the Lakers. I got my 4 rings. And my 4 rings. Yeah, with the help of Kobe Bryant. May he rest in peace. Charles Barkley was doing it himself. Like, yeah, inside the NBA on TNT. Stuff like that. I wish there was a place to watch old episodes. Because I like to go back to rewatch all the episodes with Charles Barkley. But I don't think they have that anywhere online. But sorry, I'm going off tangent. But Slam Dunk, yeah. Again, other than some lost in translation stuff. With some of the dialogue. Again, Haruko being fairly unlikable of a character. I don't know if she gets better as a character. But again, she was fairly unlikable. It did make me root for the lead. I liked some of the artwork. Especially during the action bits of the basketball bits and them slam dunking. I liked the way the artist drew that. Thought it was satisfying. Overall, I didn't mind it. Did not mind it. It was interesting to read, different, outside the norm for me. But I do appreciate that. It was interesting at the very least. So, yeah. If you're into manga or if you're into basketball, probably worth a read. I say probably because I'm not a mind reader. You could be like, fuck this. But it was interesting. I didn't mind it. Did not mind it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.